21st of February 2025. A bit unshaven, I do accept. We'll have to get shaven. Anyway, folks, I have two videos there being downloaded or uploaded at the minute on Northern Sound, and there has been another development on Shannonside Northern Sound. Now, what Northern Sound would like to do is put out their left-wing dribble, but I tell you, I'm going to hunt them down all the time and keep them under pressure, as Jack Charlton said. Now, we had Luke Ming on. I've made my video on that. And now we move on to another person, ex-minister Heather Humphreys. She's from down at Cootill, down that country, and Cavan Monaghan TD. She didn't run the last time. And she was interviewed, and she says that Trump's policies are scary. Now, on one hand, we know the issue there is in the mixer about Gaza and all of that. We're staying away from it now. I have a feeling there's a lot of that buster. I don't know, but I think they must talk about the Ukraine, because right now the big emphasis among the whole political elite, of which Luke Ming Flanagan joined, he went for election, and you'd think he was all against the political elite. Instead that he joined them. Kieran Malooly joined them a minute he got elected. The hand was out. Come on into us. Come into my parlour. And there's no doubt Heather Humphreys, ex-minister, is one of them as well. And she is referring to this situation in the Ukraine. Essentially, folks, I have been talking to you in a sorrowful way about the diminution or the taking away of my rights to freedom in Ireland, and hoping that someday it will be restored. And now we see Mr. Trump's administration. And I am saying to you, why don't we enjoy this? We should enjoy this. There's people ringing me every day about the wrong that's been done, the illegality, the breaking of the law by the government, and they seem to want to offload it onto me. If I carry, that's a terror. You'll notice with me, I never whinge. And people often says to me, how are you keeping, Val? Oh, be God. I just said to them, I was eating too much beef. I was getting a bit strong on myself. I give this old answer. I never whinge, as I never complain. And in the Gardaí, I was in the Gardaí, you get guards there, owl inspectors, and they'd be whinging. Whinging. And there'd be a crime committed, and they'd think it was an affront to them personally. And when I'd go in and crack a joke, they wouldn't like it at all. And they'd try to penalise me for not being like that. And sometimes there'd be bullies in the guards, and they'd try to bully people, and they would bully people, and they'd try to bully me, and I'd stand up to them and face them down, and then they'd go to cry, I didn't think you'd do that on me. Whinging, and you get people like that. I don't bother. But anyway, they're doing the nut. Heather Humphreys said that Trump is scary, and he is trying to stop a war that has killed about 900,000 people in the Ukraine. So we're now in a position where it's scary to try to sue for peace, to try and settle a thing and not let it go on for many years as the EU wants. I challenge Heather Humphreys to debate this with me. I challenge Joe Finnegan on the Shannonside programme to let me on and speak. Watch this space. There are about 2 chances of that. What a slim. The other is none. Meanwhile, Joe, what do you call him? Joe Reilly. He was a senator up to recently. I don't know, did he get back in? He's Fine Gael anyway for County Cavan. He said that Trump's diplomacy skills or diplomatic skills were wanting, and that we had to make allowance for Trump. An allowance for Trump. Well, I can tell you, Joe, Trump is going to shove it up you whether you like it or not. He's going to shove it up Heather Humphreys whether she likes it or not, and he's going to shove it up Luke Ming Flanagan whether you like it or not. You had it long enough your way. I went to you and told you that the windmills were illegal, they were in contravention of the SEA directive, and you said, well, all our people are for it, they're all for it. And Germany is finished, the economy, with their green junk. I told you correctly, you didn't listen. And now Trump is going to force you to do it. whether you like it or whether you don't. And Joe Finnegan, too, I'm telling you, Joe, Trump is going to shove it up you and your left-wing cod baloney, whether you like it or not. And am I enjoying it? Big time. So here we have three wasted politicians, beyond in Europe and here in Ireland, with nothing going for them, only bringing in hate speech law to jail me for having the freedom to speak me mind. That's all you have. And filling the place full of migrants. Migration is a big issue in the German elections and destroying our country. And you have the nerve to come along and try to indoctrinate the people of Ireland. At least half of them didn't vote for you anyway. That, oh, Trump is scary. Oh, scary. And he has no diplomatic skills. Trump has the same diplomatic skills I have. If I have to chat and negotiate and try and bring peace, which I've often done, I do that the best way I can with respect for all parties. If there's one party in the wrong legally or in the wrong morally, I shove it up them. Whether they like it or whether they don't. That's my diplomacy. And that's Donald Trump's diplomacy. Zelensky, where's the 100 billion gone that Zelensky got? He's a fraud, he's a cheat, and he has his own people in jail and won't let anyone be president, only him. And all he had to do when the issue came up with that, all he had to say to Trump was, President Trump, I want to tell you this. It's not easy to hold elections in my situation. It's difficult. It's going to be very difficult. I understand there'll have to be elections. But at the moment, how do we hold them? How do we physically hold them when we're under attack? How do we hold polling stations and schools and all of that? That's our problem. We'll go along with that if we can, but it's not easy and we need help. If he had to make it that way, he wouldn't have sickened Trump. In fact, he'd have thrown it back to Trump to explain why he can't hold elections. But as time progresses, the reason for not holding elections gets thinner and thinner. And we all know the reason he won't hold elections is he'd be turfed out on his ear. That's the reason. Folks, comment underneath. That's our politicians. No doubt now we want to hear from Richard Boyle Carrot. The Taoiseach is... I think actually... Patrick's Day may be on. I think it could be on. I don't know. It's going to be some fun. What the lefties are telling Micheál Martin, the Taoiseach, is that he must chastise Trump over Gaza. And he'll have to, if he does that, if he attacks Trump out of the blue, like Zelensky and these other ones, he'll never get back to the Patrick's Day. The Patrick's Day slot will be gone. St. Patrick's Day will be gone forever. If I was his diplomatic advisor, I would notify the White House that I'm going to say a few words. And I'd simply say, Mr. Trump and your new presidency, we wish you well. We hope you do manage to keep the peace. We're very strong on peace. We can only appeal to you to keep the human rights and the suffering out and try and stop it. And in the Gaza situation, to bear in mind the Palestinian people, it's a difficult one. It's gone on all my life. We would be supportive of any initiative you'd try to make with it, and it's not easy. And we just ask you to not to just discount the Palestinian position. And you had an Abraham Accord before, and it looked a good idea, and we would suggest you give it another go. That would be the diplomatic way to put it. And then go on and say about the great connection we have with Ireland and everything else. Of course, they dirtied their copy. Our Taoiseach, our Deputy Prime Minister, Simon Harris, called Mr. Trump a ghoul. A ghoul. In other words, a kind of a ghost that would appear if you're walking past a graveyard on a dark night, or come up out of a grave, something that the worst of Hollywood, like Hannibal Lecter or these, would produce, or the screaming, or whatever you call it. And that's what they referred to. That's what he referred to President Trump as. That shows you the forward thinking he has when he went along and damaged Ireland like that. He was down in Doonbeg and they wouldn't go down and just welcome him or even ring him up and say, "Here, Donald, good man, look, we can't get down. There's a meeting on today. Are you all right down there? Is the guards looking after you? We'll chat." That's all he had to do. They don't want Donald. They hate the sight of him. Heather Humphreys hates the sight of him. Joe Reilly, the Taoiseach, hates the sight of him. Kieran Malooly hates him. Luke Ming Flanagan hates him. The voters love them, and I can only go the extra step. I've told the Trump will shove it up them boys and girls. Well, do you know, for the people who vote for them, he'll shove it up yous as well. And I'm only going to laugh at yous. I am on a high. See the Donald. I never thought I'd see the day. Thank God that my prayers were answered. Whether you people or whether the Irish people like it or not, it's going to be shoved up you, whether you like it or not. Thank God. Good luck. Bye-bye. Thank you.